How's your vocabulary study going? Are you by any chance experiencing any of the following cases? I feel like my vocabulary is limited and I want to expand it. I don't know how to memorize words. I keep forgetting the words I memorized. It's hard to get myself to study vocabulary. It's so boring. If you're going through at least one of the 4 cases, watch this video until the end and start the vocabulary study routine we're about to introduce to you. You're watching Talk to Me in Korean, and I'm Seungwan. We have many different books and online courses to help you with your vocabulary learning. Come to our website and look around. It's talktomeinkorean.com. Before we get into the study routine for your vocabulary, I want you to keep this one important rule in mind. Don't be a perfectionist. This can actually help you with most of your struggles in studying vocabulary. You can be like, I'm finally going to master Korean vocabulary. I've never been so ready. It's great to be motivated, but please remember that there will be words you forget. Don't try to memorize everything perfectly. Otherwise, you're going to get exhausted very soon. Even if there are some words you just can't remember, just keep going forward. Study the next chapter and learn the next word. And come back later after the whole chapter or the whole book is done. Now, let's talk about how you can study vocabulary on a daily basis through a 30-minute routine. It mainly consists of 4 steps. First, check the words from the previous session. Spend the first 5 minutes on reviewing the words you learned in your previous study session, usually the previous day. You can test yourself, by simply covering the meaning of the words from your own vocabulary notes, making a test paper from a spreadsheet, or using a vocabulary application. Do it in a way that suits you. Just quickly do a 5-minute review. Second, skim. Now, you're going to actually meet the new words for that day. Just spend 3 minutes or so and you only need to skim through the word list and check for the words you're sure you know. Write down the words you don't know yet in your vocabulary notes. Don't try to learn too many words in a day though. Just learn 10 to 20 words each day, and that's more than enough because you'll also be acquiring new words through other methods like reading or watching Korean shows. This short process will be a very good warm-up. It's like checking the water temperature before you dive in. Third, read. The next step is reading all the words and their meanings out loud. Spend about 5 to 7 minutes on this. The purpose of doing this is to get familiar with the shape and the sound of each word. Even among the words you don't know, you might find some words, particularly more difficult and unfamiliar than the others. Be aware of that and be prepared for the next step where you focus on memorization. Also, read the example sentences once. Even if you don't understand them clearly, it's okay. Just move on. Fourth, memorize. And now, you're going to spend about 15 minutes actually trying to memorize the words. You can do it in whatever way as long as it's effective for you. Try to engage as many different types of senses as possible. You can draw a simple picture for each word. You can do an image search with the word on the internet. You can read the example sentences several times and imagine the situations vividly. Or you can make your own example sentences related to yourself or, your environment. For some of you, just writing down the words on paper and reading them out loud repeatedly can be the best way. You can also listen to audio files from the book and repeat after a native Korean speaker's pronunciation. Solve exercises or quizzes about the words if your book contains them. Here's a great tip. Don't write down the answers in the book and mark them. Solve the quizzes in your notebook and mark them there so that you can solve them again. This will be useful for reviewing the same words the next day. So, that was a vocabulary study routine that we recommend. Try to set aside 30 minutes each day and repeat this process every day. Set a chapter or a whole book as the first goal and keep moving forward until you finish it. In the process, you're going to keep forgetting many words, but that is very, very natural. So it'll happen to all of you, unless you're a robot. It's fine to forget some or many of the words. Just try to learn the same amount of words and memorize them every day. If you want to move on to a new chapter or a new book, that's great. If you want to repeat a certain chapter or book one more time to remember the words more solidly, that works too. The most important thing is that you don't stop just because you find yourself forgetting some words. You're going to see these words again in other places anyway, so don't worry, just keep going.
Keep going.
Alright, so this is my recommendation for you, and you're more than welcome to change it to suit your learning style and schedule. I hope this video gave you some ideas for building your own vocabulary study habits, which will eventually make you become more confident in the Korean language. Thank you for watching. Talk every day.
I ain't got no fear. You can kick me down, but I won't stay down. I run this town, ain't backing down. We go on them rounds. Yeah, the winds will blow, but these roots too deep. I'm on my feet, the underdog, and I won't be beat. In the fire now, but I won't be burned. I was waiting for this, and now it's my turn. Sweat on my face, blood in my eyes. Been underground, now I aim for the sky. Don't quit now, you can last longer. All these wounds only making you stronger. Don't give up now, yeah, you gotta climb. But we give it to all.